After 6 days without a home game here at Bourne Park, the Bourne Braves looked to come out firing, but Orleans had a different story behind them as they put up 4 runs against the Braves 0. Blaine McCormick, Justin Galante, and Kyle Kirchville in for Tomahawk Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Now, Justin, we'll start with you. What was the biggest hinder for the Braves offense? I mean, they didn't put any runs on the scoreboard, only got 4 hits in the game. What was wrong with them tonight?
Well, I think Joey Murray was just throwing a ton of strikes, and when Bourne only gets 4 hits and they don't get very many free passes on walks or hit by pitches, you end up with not very many opportunities to score runs. We've seen a lot this season that hits and RBIs have come from guys getting on base via free passes, and when that doesn't happen, which is what happened tonight, you're unable to score, and that's what happened with Bourne. This has kind of been the cultivation of a lot of games in a row, leaving a ton of guys on base, coming up with maybe 1 hit or 2 hits, or getting a wild pitch or a bases loaded walk, which happened last time the Braves played Orleans. But tonight, just not very many opportunities and unable to cash through on any of them.
And like you said, the last time that the Braves faced the Firebirds, there was a score of 2-1. So another low-scoring contest. This one ends up on the wrong side of the tape for the Braves. Kyle, with these fast-paced games, that are under 3 hours, what is the biggest thing for an offense to really get going in these types of situations?
Well, for the Braves tonight, they were 3-0 coming to this game in 1-run games, the first time they've lost. And the biggest thing for them has been coming through with at least, one more extra clutch opportunity, one more extra hit that they were able to get. And tonight, like Justin said, they never really put themselves into a situation where they had a man on to allow something like an infield hit to work. They had, 1 or 2 men in scoring position, if that. They didn't have too many opportunities to move guys over with bunts or anything like that, simply because they just didn't have any guys on. So to answer your question, Blaine, there's really nothing you can do as far as how quick the game is progressing. You just need to put together better at-bats, simply. If your games are done in 3 hours, one team at least is pitching well, and the issue for the Braves tonight is, I think, a couple opportunities where they didn't put together excellent at-bats. I thought Jake Alou had a great at-bat later in the game where he was able to work himself on with 2 outs. He waited until he saw first pitch strike, and then he took his base, and we've seen a couple at-bats during this game where Braves hitters simply didn't do that. They were first pitch swinging, and against a pitching arsenal that has been so effective against them in the Orleans Firebirds, you have to be able to put men on, work counts, and tonight they didn't do that.
And it seemed as though that the Braves really shot themselves in the foot with all of the strikeouts that they accumulated today. And like you said, Kyle, Orleans was on fire with their pitching. So what's the biggest step in that type of progression? You know that your guys are striking out so much. How do you as an individual step up in those kind of situations? And did you see anybody really step up?
Well, it was a little bit difficult tonight. I mean, we saw last night the value of putting the ball in play with Lyle Lynn with the game-winning infield single in the 7th inning. Tonight, Bourne comes back, strikes out 12 times. So basically, each guy needs to take it upon themselves and basically say, I'm going to have better at-bats, swing at pitches in the strike zone. It seemed like, the 9th inning was kind of basically throwing in the towel a little bit. Like, you're down 4-0, you just gave up 3 runs, and there were a couple guys that swung at pitches well out of the strike zone. And look, give all the credit in the world to the pitching staff for Orleans. They were outstanding. Joey Murray was great, and then the 2 relievers were great as well. But Bourne just didn't have the greatest at-bats in the world. And once again, I mean, it's 1 game of a 40-plus game season. It's going to happen that you're going to get shut out, and everyone's going to act like the sky's falling and the world's falling apart. It's one night. Braves are still 3-2, all still good. Tonight wasn't great, but I'm sure they'll figure it out very soon.
On the positive end, on the defensive side of the ball, Bourne really had some good plays out there. We saw a center field dive from Jamison Hanna out there. What an impressive outing from him. And then also Turner Brown made a great play on the infield. This Braves defense has really stood up and really surprised some people too with all of these plays.
Well, Andrew Frigier came into the game, made a couple great plays to help turn a double play. The thing I love about him is this is his first game on the Cape, and he comes out here. He didn't have a great day at the plate, but frankly, no one else on the Braves had a great day at the plate. But he was able to impress with his defense and to show the athletic capabilities that this guy has. We knew he was an athlete coming into this team, and we knew he was going to provide some of those intangibles with the speed and the strength, but I think we really started to see that tonight. And the best thing I saw tonight was Jamison Hanna getting revenge on a fantastic diving play in center field where he was robbed of extra bases and right by Brandon Riley. So those are the kind of plays that you love to see. We saw outstanding defense tonight, and part of the reason why the Braves bullpen was successful tonight, with the exception of Bars at the end, was just the defense helped out as well. Chris Holba really struggled tonight. He walked 4 guys, but he only gave up 1 run, and partially that was because of great defense behind him.
Well, moving on to our players of the game right now, I think that Joey Murray deserves a spot for today. I mean, you don't see a shutout too often in baseball, and with them, with the way the talent is here on the Cape, it's rare to get a 0 outing game from anybody. Sure. And he's only one of 3 Kent State players, as the Braves also have one in Eli Krause. But Joey Murray was really impressive today, and the Braves just shot themselves in the foot, like I said earlier, with all the strikeouts. So my player, Joey Murray.
I'm going to have to go with you as well, Glenn. I'm going to give mine to Joey Murray. An excellent start from him. Really only needed his relievers to go 4 innings, and he got help from his relievers because they were able to go 2 innings apiece, so you didn't have to break into the bullpen too much. But, I mean, right from the word go, he was out on the mound absolutely mowing down Braves hitters, and he really looked in control the entire game. And there was never a point where it really looked like he was going to give Bourne an opportunity to put together any kind of string of hits. And tonight, I have to give it to him, frankly, because he was just so dominant.
Well, I agree with you guys. I think it's Joey Murray who was the MAC pitcher of the year at Kent State. And the score was 4-0 at the end, but the entire time Murray was in the game from the 3rd inning on, it was 1-0. Prior to that, it was 0-0. So he was pitching in a tight ball game. And as Kyle said, there was not one situation in the game where it felt like Bourne really had a good chance to tie it up or take the lead. And Murray had, without a doubt, I think, the most impressive start that we've seen so far this summer. So he takes home the player of the game for me as well.
Well, like you said, Justin, the season will go on, and we have a bunch of games coming up. So tomorrow, the Bourne Braves are back at home here at Doran Park, and they will play Harwich at 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in for that game, as these guys will be on the call once again. Thanks for watching Tomahawk Talk. We'll catch you next game.